Good evening, everybody. We are live here in San Marino, Imola, for the fourth round of the 2003 Formula One World Championship here at Virtual Formula Universe. We are just in the midst of qualifying. We were on board with Karol Ostrozolek very briefly as the cars are doing their qualifying laps. Let's see what the situation is on track. Karol Ostrozolek has just set pole, 3/10 ahead of Jaguar's Zak Brown. A very good day for Jaguar. Let's see what else is going on. We have Pereira now on a lap. Let's see what kind of time he does. Driving for Renault. It's been a very storied season so far. We had so much scenes in Interlagos last week with a lot of fallout from the aftermath of that race, resulting in a brief administrative restructure for VFU. But the show goes on, even if it's the most controversial and competitive season yet in modern VFU Formula One history. Looking good for Pereira, excuse me, as he smoothly navigates these corners throughout Sector 2, coming up to another chicane now. Looking smooth up through the gears, 6 gears, that Renault gearbox, having one less than the others. Little bit squirrely on mid-corner, but he keeps it together. It's looking like a solid, fine lap for Pereira. Could be podium position. And it's good for pole, 2/10 faster than Karol Ostrozolek. So that's Pereira with the pole-setting lap of the race. Or the qualifying, rather, not the race. Now we have Nick Holliday currently preparing to do his qualifying lap for Jordan, one of the VFU juniors being looked at for a Formula One seat. We also have Eddie Spitars here today, if we can find him. Yes, Eddie Spitars trying out for McLaren, as McLaren are trying to fill out an empty seat in their young drivers program in the junior series. Let's stick with Holliday for a moment, as qualifying is reaching its end soon. A little bit of an excursion there. The transfer from junior F3 cars to Formula One cars is quite violent. Oh, and as you can see there, case in point, I think the lap's going to be abandoned. Yes, it is. It is going to be abandoned for Jordan. So he won't be under duress of Parc Ferme, but he will start from the back most likely. German Korev preparing to start a lap, one of the remainers to do so. Stick with him for the moment. Taking his time, making sure those tires are up to temp, engine is running optimally. Soon to start that lap. I just returned from a quick break to get a drink, and I sit down in my seat and I see that a Sauber is on pole. German Korev beating Moises Pereira by 4 hundredths of a second to take pole for the San Marino Grand Prix. What the hell? Goodness gracious. Do we have anyone else who's yet to do a lap? Ah, we have the Ferrari and a BMW and a BAR, so it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Let's go with the Williams. This looks like Spirichev. I'm sure Sauber will be more than pleased with such a lap, though. It's looking smooth. Strong lap so far. Attacking the curbs pretty hard. A little twitch from the car there. Sparks flying. Oh, this could be a very strong lap. Darting like an arrow through those corners. Final chicane to go across the line, and that's pole for Spirichev, 1:21.6. But it's not over. It's certainly not over. There's Bouchard, or no, Sirignano qualifying second to 1:22.3. Where is Jules Bouchard? Jules Bouchard looking, or not Jules Bouchard, but rather Lewis Wedding looking racy. Down through the gears. And Lewis is known for putting on qualifying magic. Let's see if he does it again today. Lewis qualifying an a characteristically slow 8th, in my opinion. But the BAR does hold him back. The car isn't as quick as the other constructors. But it is a solid enough upper midfield type lap. But we did not see the gloriousness of Interlagos. I think we have a car over the lap count, meaning disqualification for that Jordan. I'm not sure. We'll find out after a quick break. And we're back. Shortly, we're going to get underway for this San Marino Grand Prix live here in Imola, round 4 of the 2003 VFU Formula One World Championship. Let's see what the grid order is. So, Jules Bouchard, at the end of qualifying, just out of my radar, got pole, followed by Alexei Spirchev, Salvatore Sirignano, German Korev, and Moises Pereira rounding out the top 5. The Ferrari are in strength here today in Imola, so Italian kind of territory. It's not exactly the core of Italian territory being Monza, but close enough has allowed them to be strong today. Carlos Strzolik for Williams, a great 1-2 finish with Spirichev back in Brazil previously, followed by Zach Brown, Lewis Wedding, Evgeny Sidorenko, Brendan Ross, Ronan Griffin, Eddie Spitars trying out for McLaren, Grayson Williams coming back for Jordan, Marat Nabulian, Tina Curtis having a terrible qualifying session today, so we're going to have to see another special drive from her, the defending champion. And finally, last but not least, Nick Holliday. Let's get on board with the starter as this San Marino Grand Prix is about to begin. Waiting for the lights to go out, and away we go for 31 laps of probably chaos, drama, and cinema. Let's go. Imola, San Marino Grand Prix, first corner. Already we have a car off the track. Everyone is relatively cleanly through. That was Ronan Griffin who went off the track there. Let's follow along with Jules Bouchard leading this race currently as he goes wide and he lets his teammate through. Spirichev looking to sneak by. Spirichev doesn't get by. He locks up and then he has to trade places with his teammate, as well as Sirignano trading places with Bouchard. It's clean in Tosa, up the hill, and we continue. Roaring V10 action, pouring through the corners, undulating of San Marino. The tires dropping back in that McLaren of his, not a great start. There is Carlo Strazolek, second place finisher in Interlagos at the wheel. Let's find the onboard. There we go. And look how the Ferraris have pulled away. They are in force today. 1-2. Carroll, Pereira, Zach Brown, Wedding, Curtis moving up in the field. Sidorenko, Ross, Nabulian, Griffin, Holiday, Batars. And Sirignano setting the fastest lap, but Jules is right there with them. And Jules might be looking for a way around his teammate. Team orders might have to come into play here. He has pulled out. He's showed his intentions that he wants to get by. Let's go on board, see how this plays out. He's definitely in that slipstream, looking for a way by. See, Ostrazolek, Pereira having a great race. The Jaguar against the Renault having an excellent race. Let's have a look at this. Jaguars playing for fourth, and the Jaguars out. Contact. That looked like a netcode hit. He didn't look like it was severe damage between anyone else, but a Sauber is also out. Holiday has been hit. It's all kicking off. Spirichev stopped, so he might have had damage. Korev out with the fucking excuse my language. I'm getting too excited. He had a brilliant qualifying lap. So it's all kicking off. And now Batar's having a go at Nabulian. Nabulian defending hard, parking that car in the middle of the track. Now Wedding versus Curtis, already up into the top 5. Not much of a chance for Wedding there. The Ferrari's still squabbling over P1, but seems like they're communicative and cooperative so far. Sirignano again fastest lap, 1:22.4. Ferrari might 1-2 it today. Very good for their constructors. So this is the situation. Ferrari 1-2, Williams 3, McLaren 4, BAR 5, Renault 6. That's your top 6. 7, another BAR. 8, another Renault. 9, the Jaguar staying with the Renault, and there is the other McLaren. No Sauber in sight. Marat was with Sauber previously. It's now a Jordan who's taken that position over. Marat is in. Doesn't look like a planned pit stop. Could have been damage. Spirichev has a long way to go to carve up the field. And Tina's off! Tina's off with a well-recovered spin. Might be a race of attrition if there's more mistakes here. Pereira will stalk down that McLaren if she's not careful. And let's go back to the Ferrari connection. Another fastest lap. Sirignano pulling out 4/10 on his Canadian teammate. So Ferrari expect big things from the Italian close to home, pretty much in the home of Italy. Smooth for the Italian. Jules Bouchard trailing up the hill of his comrade. Meanwhile, 4th and 5th, Tina Curtis and Lewis Wedding. That's a battle to watch. Let's see it. Front wing to rear wing. Looks like there's an opportunity for Tina. Looks like it's going to be a smooth pass, and it is a smooth pass. .121.5, so it is really going to be between two of the prancing horses today. They're just much faster than everyone else. It could be a strategy call. Let's look at Lewis Wedding right under the rear wing, trying to find a way around that McLaren. Doesn't have the power. Meanwhile, further down the field, a battle ensuing. Sidorenko versus Griffin. Let's watch. Jaguar stalking down that Renault. Griffin and Sidorenko are both doing 124s. It's really close. Could see a move here from Sidorenko. I wouldn't do it there though. And he smartly knew not to. But he has speed now. He has a chance. Up the inside. And it's a textbook pass for the Russian in the Jaguar. Griffin struggling a bit. There's another fastest lap by Bouchard. This race is going by quickly. There's Butars struggling a lot in his McLaren. Maybe too much speed to handle. There's Spirichev still trying to recuperate the race he has gone awry with. There's Williams in 12th, out of the points, unfortunately. There's Murat Nubulian back on track, and these are retirements. Nick Holliday, Zach Brown, and German Korev. And Zach Brown had a brilliant qualifying lap, so it's a real shame he's out. Let's see what's going on up top with the Ferrari. Ferrari seem to just be holding position, nothing crazy, getting the job done, taking the points where they may. They haven't had a very good start to the season, so a race like this is more than needed. And they are well clear of the Williams of Karol Ostrozolek. No mistakes, communicate, and they'll take that 1-2 as did Williams in Interlagos. The battle between Tina and Wedding has died down. Nubulian being closed in upon by Pereira to be lapped. Karol Ostrozolek now just putting in the fastest lap, so he is beginning to push. Ronan Griffin is now out of this Grand Prix. He did seem like he was struggling quite a bit, so attrition is kicking in here. That means Williams will just be one position away from the points. There are the Ferraris. Nubulian 13th. He just has to pass Ronan where he retired to take that 12th. Let's stick with the Ferraris as they navigate traffic. Bouchard has now gone in front, so it looks like team orders did come into play there. Clean lapping of Williams. Across the line. Bouchard pulling out a second on his teammate. So it looks like there won't be any inter-team drama. Let's see if we can find drama elsewhere. Curtis gone from Wedding. With the fastest lap too. So it could be a problem later on in the race. There's Pereira doing very, very well for Renault. There is Brendan Ross. A very good 7th so far. Oh, a little bit of lag from the Australian driver. I'm sure he's still on track. Or at least I hope so. He should be on track. Although, it seems like there could be server problems. We'll be right back with a quick break to see if there's something that's after gone awry. Okay, in my absence, a lot has happened. Sirignano leading the Grand Prix, followed by Lewis Wedding second. Jules Bouchard had an off-track, not an off-track excursion, an electrical failure that left him out of the race. So third is now Tina Curtis. Ostrozolik battling Tina Curtis at this point in time. Brendan Ross fifth. Sidorenko sixth. Spirichev has climbed his way to seventh and is now chasing the Jaguar of Sidorenko. It looks like it's going to be a textbook overtake. Indeed it is. He is gone. Eighth is Eddie Spitars stopping for McLaren. Ninth is Williams. So he's climbed up into the points in that Jordan. Pereira suffered engine failure. Marat is going to climb up into the points soon after Pereira's engine has expired. And we also missed out on, I believe, Ronan Griffin with an engine failure, as I'm receiving feed from chat. Now, as we continue, this seems to be the closest instance of a battle on track, really. Unfortunately, our usual graphics package had to be swapped out last minute following the technical issue we had during the race. So we did miss a bit of drama, unfortunately. I apologize for that. Sirignano and Wedding now grappling for the win, and Sirignano is looking very racy. So it could be a cinematic exchange between Ferrari and BAR here in Imola. Let's see who remains. Spirichev is now out, so Spirichev has had an accident. Spirichev out. Goodness gracious, Spirichev out of the Grand Prix. That puts us down to 10 cars on track, all 10 in the points. Sauber in the points, Jordan in the points. Despite McLaren slow and steady, still in the points. Spirichev gone. Sidorenko 6th. Ross a quiet 5th. 4th is Ostrozolik, but doesn't seem like he will catch up to the McLaren very soon. And Sirignano is quite dangerously closing in on Lewis Wedding. And there's a Sauber off, doesn't seem to be a fatal off. On board with Sirignano. Seems to be losing ground actually to Wedding. Lap 13 of 31, just under half distance here in Imola. Tina has definitely called for a pit stop she doesn't plan on doing, as those tyres look clean. Carroll running strong. Ross with very worn tyres there. Not much to comment on, not much battles going on. A lot of our main players are out of the race altogether. Seems like the lap counter graphic is having a bit of a mare. Let's see if I can quickly check the lap count. It is... Oh, it's correct. Apologies, I thought it was frozen. I was going to do some technical work to try and get it back working properly. So there we go, we're back. Slightly rough day at the office. Really died down fast. Opening couple of laps were spectacular, but this really died down fast. Imola is like that. Imola is a tough track. There's a couple of pit stops called though. Let's see what happens in the pit lane. There's Curtis, followed by Ostrozolek. We'll see who comes in. There's Nabulian. Not him. Not Batars either. No other crews out ready to receive their drivers in the pit lane yet. Brendan Ross, a fine fifth. May not be anyone planning to stop, which is odd. Oh, there it is. There's Sidorenko now coming in. Looks like a planned stop, mid-race stint stop. Clean tires on. Stickers were removed. And away he goes. There's Grayson Williams right behind him. And the BARs are coming in now. Very shortly we may see... We may see Brendan Ross, but it could also be Lewis Wedding from the lead, indeed. So this is going to be ample opportunity for Sirignano. Now, Sirignano inherits the lead. Let's see the stop. Third place Tina also has a crew ready. There's Sirignano gone. Tina, Ostrozolek, Wedding out of his crew box. Ross fifth. Fourth and a fifth between BARs would be not too bad. Although, with the lap being that they stopped on being 13, it could mean that they need to stop again on 26th or 27, 28 kind of range. That's Ross in now, coming into your picture. No traffic ahead. Astrozolik has a planned stop. Tina has a planned stop. Sirignano might just take this one away quietly with a great start and great pace. Now, I believe I'm not crazy, but the lap count for the leader is not continuing. Bear with me while I check the situation. Rare enough that we have technical issues, but they happen. Indeed, lap count has actually frozen for spectator side, which is unfortunate. So I've been commentating that it was lap 13 or so for the last possibly 4 laps, which is a problematic instance. Although we can continue watching the race nonetheless. Not ideal, but the show goes on. When things calm down pit cycle wise, I can do a double check for the lap count. A quick break. No battles on track, but Tar's now out of the Grand Prix from 7th. So it means Grayson Williams will inherit healthy points for Jordan. Nabulian going to inherit 8th. And that's everybody. Sirignano still continuing strong. No opposition from Curtis. Curtis's tires don't seem that worn, so I wager she's already had her stop. Wedding third, a strong day out for BAR once again. And a decent day for BMW Williams too, for Carol. I'd say BAR will come away with the most points constructors-wise for this one. 3rd and 5th respectively. A lot of teammates have retired from this one. Jaguar, running quite well. And then of course the Jordan. See if I can get a hold on the situation of the points, or of the laps left. So 22 of 31 laps left currently. So just under 10 or over 10 laps to go. Sirignano now planning a stop. Tina not far away. Lapping Brendan Ross, she is. Although Sirignano's tyres look awful clean for someone who wants to stop. But he is stopping indeed, so this is going to be a crucial one if he wants to maintain the race lead and the race win. Looks like Tina's in, so it's going to be a race in the pits. A race indeed it is. McLaren crew working hard. And it's going to be a close one. Is that Wedding for an undercut? It could be Wedding. Let's see. It is Wedding. Wedding has undercut Tina. or rather overcut, as he stopped earlier. What a brilliant strategy call from BAR. So now we have some entertainment. Finally a battle on our hands with 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Let's go on board with Tina. Tina's car is definitely superior. Wedding will have to do a lot of work to keep that VAR in front of that McLaren. Getting under the rear wing, but not quite finding the opening. And this is playing into Sirignano's hands, as he can pull away as these two battle. And you can definitely tell that Tina turned up the engine to try and make a move. It didn't pay off. Hopefully her engine makes it to the end. She seems to express some displeasure. Again trying a move on the outside, but no space, no dice. Now another attempt up the inside, nothing too risky from Tina. Third place is still a great place to finish in points-wise. Pulls out on the outside, hard braking, and Wedding has unfortunately lost that position to Tina Curtis. The superiority of the McLaren just overwhelming the BAR there. Although he's awfully close to her rear wing, he might have a chance. A move might be on. It's extremely intense battle between one of VFU's best and a rising star. One world champion against a 6-time world champion. But it seems like she's starting to pull away comfortably. Still following these two as they negotiate Sector 2. Not much to comment on. I think Tina has that battle won for second place. So keeping her championship alive as Wedding goes off. That's a rare mistake from such a strong driver. Meanwhile, Brendan Ross, 4th. 5th, Evgeny Sidorenko. 6th, Grayson. Carroll out in 7th. So Marat's going to inherit 7th. Eddie, Spirchev, Moises, all out. Sirignano now being creeped up upon by Tina. If Sirignano wants to make this late race strategy work, as Tina catches a big slide, her aggression could be her downfall. And Ferrari off! the Tifosi cry. And Tina Curtis has driven from last, virtually last, to first in this Grand Prix after a botched qualifying lap. Sirignano has gifted the win on a silver platter for the Irish woman. And there's Wedding just barely out of strike zone. Calm throughout the field. We'll do a lap count sit rep. (27 out of 31 laps). Cursus leading, 28 laps gone, 31 to go. BAR not trying to play any tricks with Sirignano. Ferrari would definitely veto, I'd say. But they are 3 and 4, so it's a good day out for BAR. Uncharacteristically, I had a choice word, but I'm not going to say that word. But this race is uncharacteristically I'd rather not say quiet, I'd rather say underwhelming than our usual VFU broadcasts. The clutches of Imola have consumed a lot of the field. There's Tina. Not much laps to go. (29 out of 31 laps). Sirignano holding tough at P2. Looks like he's pulling away. Brendan Ross doing well for BAR. Sidorenko spinning, a little bit of drama there, but it seems okay. Jaguar going to get some huge points today with the 5th place finish. Grayson Williams 6th place for Jordan. Marat 7th place for Sauber. Roaring V10 of the McLaren as it inches and inches its way to victory. Sirignano's not far away from the McLaren. Could be a fight at the end stages of the race. Everyone is on late stint fuel, late stint tires. (30 out of 31 laps to go. Possibly a last-ditch attempt from Salvatore here. Wedding is going to finish on the podium, followed by Brendan Ross, Sidorenko, and Williams. There's an Abulian crossing the line. Just a lap to go for Tina. And definitely maintaining or even pulling that gap from the Ferrari. And that is Tina Curtis having won the Italian, or the San Marino Grand Prix, not the Italian Grand Prix, as Salvatore combusts himself there after securing P2. Although spinning from the lead would mean that he's probably kicking himself, and that's his virtual way of kicking himself, having lost the race win potentially. Ferrari in general kicking themselves, having lost a potential 1-2 finish. And last but not least, Murat Nabulian collecting points in his calm manner as always. Simply surviving a high attrition race. And that's all from today's San Marino Grand Prix. It was exciting in the opening stages, not so much in the closing. We will see you next week, for round 5 in Barcelona.